Hi folks, welcome to or welcome back to Exposed, and if I'm welcoming you back and you like it here, I'd love it if you stayed and subbed. And if you are subbed, can you just check that you're still subbed, because for some reason YouTube keeps unsubbing people. Anywho, here's Lisa. How am I managing my HRT at 52? From pill to patch, menopause, HRT and the carnivore diet. She had to get that in, didn't she? And the thumbnail said something like HRT, which is better, pill or patch. I don't know if I should be commenting on this at all, because I know absolutely bugger all about HRT. When I was obviously starting the menopause, I was putting it down to a carb rush because I'd been diagnosed with diabetes around the same time, and it seemed that every time I ate I had a hot flush, but I didn't put it down to menopause. I just dealt with it, and then by the time I'd got used to having them, they stopped, and then I realized, oh, is that what that was? And had I had an option to go to the doctor and ask for help, A, I wouldn't have, because I don't like him anyway and I haven't been in donkey's years, and B, I'm not sure I would. I mean, each to their own. Do you know what I mean? If it's really, really that bad and it's impacting your life that badly, then you would go and do something about it. But I put everything I was dealing with down to fibro and the diabetes and just didn't think anything of it and got on with it. So shall we see what she has to say? Do we have to? I notice she's been jumping into things. That's my saying. Oi, you. Shall we jump in?
Hey guys, it's Lisa, and today we're going to talk about my HRT.
Have you noticed when she's talking about what she thinks are deep in meaningfuls, she always goes down a notch? Hey guys, it's me, and today I'm going to patronize you.
Talk about menopause and...
What's that about menopause? Honestly.
Tie in a little bit of the carnivore diet. I get so many questions about my HRT. Am I still doing the same as I was? And I will link some videos. I'll link one up here and I'll link some down below, because I've kind of gone over this a few years ago. But recently I have gone back to my doctor, and then I got referred. Okay, the doctor that I went to is just my internal medicine doctor. He is the one that prescribed me the first HRT that I was ever...
What's an internal medicine doctor? I don't understand America and doctors. I just don't get it. In the UK, if you're not aware, we have a doctor. That's it. Just one. And they're called a general practitioner. And you go and see your GP if your head's hanging off, your fucking womb's falling out, your eyes have turned backwards. You go to your doctor. If you have a good one, they'll look past what you're presenting and see if there's something behind it, and if you need to be referred to somewhere. Otherwise, if you have a twat like I have, he just pats you on the head and says, there dear, go home and take an Anadin. So what's an internal medicine doctor? Is he like the yuck doctor? She doesn't like the yuck doctor.
Ever on. Then I went back to him, and then I will tell you the whole story. I ended up going to a gynecologist within the group.
A gynecologist, not a yuck doctor? Wow.
I don't know a lot about HRT, you guys. I'm not an expert. I have gone down the rabbit hole I don't know how many times, and it's just hard to come to a definite conclusion, and it's certainly not for me to tell you what to do. I think it is a very, very individual decision according to your beliefs, according to your family history, according to just what you value and
your beliefs and what you value as to whether you take HRT. Really? The fuck?
Just, you know, it's just an individual decision, and that's why I was a little hesitant to talk about it even from the beginning. but I do understand that it's something that is very prevalent in our lives. And as I've gotten even older since I started, I really understand now why people ask me questions, and because of the way it kind of goes into carnivore, because I have a lot of people say that all of the good results I got from carnivore aren't from carnivore, that it's from the HRT. And so I want to address that. So let's start off with what I originally got put on for hot flashes. I mean, comical. I could almost handle the nighttime hot flashes, you know, when you have to get up, change clothes, and lay down a towel to even go back to bed. Those I could handle. Like I just knew that was expected. But I remember I was shopping with my friend Sheila Fajl, and I'm trying to think, I think we were in Miami. Yeah, I think we were in Miami, and we were standing at a checkout line, and I looked back at her and I said, oh my God, I am having the worst hot flash. She said, I can tell. I was drenched. Another thing is, I really had read that the HRT helped with bone loss. And I had already been, you know, dealing with some hip pain, and I'd already been, I think, diagnosed with osteopenia about that time. So that was like another little plus in that direction. And then some people here on YouTube, some other ladies that are around my age, were talking about it. I know Dominique was one of the people.
Talking of hot flushes, as we call them in the UK, because your skin flushes, that's where this started. Because I used to go frumph, and it was like, what the fuck? And like I said, I put it down to either what I'd eaten, or the fibro, or the diabetes, and I had a towel, and it's never left me since.
She would have like these discussions with doctors and everything. And so all of these made me ask my just practitioner, my regular internal medicine doctor, and he was on board. So the first thing he ever gave me, and what I have been on for years, is the estradiol tablets, 0.5 milligram. And I take 1 tablet by mouth daily. They also prescribe you the progesterone capsule, and mine is 100 milligram. Unless you have the IUD in, which I've heard some people say if you still have your IUD in, you can keep that in, and that can serve as your progesterone. And what this does is it helps the inside lining of your uterus.
How does a coil give you progesterone? I don't understand. It's just a piece of gnarly metal that's been shoved inside of you. Can someone explain that? I remember when I got one, thinking it would be a good idea when I was really young. What was I? 19, 20, something like that. And I remember sitting in the doctor's, and there was photographs of all of them, and one of them, I swear to God, looked like a hatchet. And I said to him, I hope you're not putting the hatchet one in. And he was like, what hatchet one? I said, that. I said, would you want that inside you? And it was like, no, it didn't work for me at all. The periods, Jesus. No, the pain. It was like, no, get it out. I'm not sure. I think about 9 months. I'd rather have had a child. So, yeah. But how does that, I don't know.
Uterus to not build up and get ready for a baby like it does, and then you sheds and you have a period. Well, you have to have something from keeping that happening, since you're taking the estrogen and replacing it like you had it before you went into menopause. Another thing I want to mention, because I don't want to forget this, I think my favorite interview and my most trusted interview has been with Dr. Andrew Huberman and
yes, we all know you fancy Dr. Huberman and his pens.
Peter Attia, or Attia. There's a video that I will link down below that I think you need to watch, because it's titled Hormone Replacement Therapy for Women. And he really gets into the breast cancer study and how that study was flawed and how it really is a terrible study. And, you know, no matter what you decide, I think you should know that how this...
So you're going to believe a man on YouTube? See, that's the thing. You have to weigh up the fact. Am I really, really, really pissed off with hot flushes that much and all the other shit that comes with it, that I can't wait a few months and ride it out, that I'm willing to take the chance that this might give me breast cancer? Everybody has to make their own decision, don't they? But see, the reason, like I said before, the reason I never even thought of HRT at any point, even before I went into menopause, I always said to myself, I'm not having it, was because I was told that you still had periods while you were on it. And I was of the opinion, once I get to the point where them fuckers stop, I ain't doing anything to carry them on any longer.
Study was conducted, the age of the women, and the fact that they had already been postmenopausal for years and years. And to get the maximum advantage of HRT with menopause or after menopause is to get it in your system pretty close to when you stop having periods. And that's what I did. I think I was within a year or so, like that. I think it had been about a year since I had had a period. And I have not had a period for a long, long time. Probably, let's say, over 3 years right now. And I'm 52. That interview really helped me feel good about it. Even though I had already started HRT, when I watched that, it made me feel better about my decision. Also, I get a mammogram twice a year because I have a little place under one of my arms. It's kind of like a ligament that has like a little fibrous piece in it that scared me to death one time, and so I get my mammogram done twice a year.
Mammogram.
So I'm very vigilant on that. Also with
mammogram number 5. Sorry. There's a little bit of Lisa under my arm.
My bone scan, all of that stuff. Back to what I originally take was the estradiol tablet and the progesterone tablet, and I have been taking that for years. Well, I have so many people ask me, do I take the tablet? Do I take the patch? Am I on bioidentical? That it, you know, I just always said I'm just on this pill. Well, then one day I was watching Dr. Barry, whom I trust, and he was saying if you are taking the estrogen pill, it is worthless. And I was like, so I made an appointment with my doctor. I can remember it was during COVID because I had to have an appointment over I talked to him on the phone when I was out.
So you were harassing doctors in the middle of fucking COVID because you'd heard something on a YouTube video. If that doesn't prove she's a fucking narc, I don't know what will.
It was a video appointment, Zoom appointment, and he acted a little bit offended that...
Yeah, I bet he did. A, that you were questioning him, and B, that you were fucking annoying him in the middle of a fucking pandemic, you moron.
That I would, you know, trust this doctor versus him. He said, you are on what you're supposed to be on. There's no difference. Basically, point blank, and shut me down. And at that point, I wasn't confident in my decision, and I wanted to trust him, and I really, you know, just didn't know what else to do, so I just didn't do anything. So it was always in the back of my mind, I'm not on the right one, I'm not on the right one. So I went to him, I would say 2 months ago, and I talked to him about this, and he was perplexed why I wanted to change. And I could not get connection with my phone while I was in there, and I just could not get my facts straight in my head. And he was saying, there's no difference. What's the difference, the tablet or the patch? And, you know, just really making me feel like I was being kind of a little irrational. And he said, I'll tell you what, we've got a woman gynecologist here in the group. I'll refer you to her. I pretty much told him I want to be on the patch. I had heard that that was the most effective thing. That was what I wanted to do. And I, in nice words, told him, I want this and I would love to do it with you. I don't want to have to go somewhere else. And so he did prescribe me the patch. And when I went to go pick it up, it was not the same 0.05. It was 0.025. And it was take for 3 weeks and then take a week off. Well, I had talked to enough people that are on the patch and got their opinion, got, their doctor's opinion. I had really, had talked to my mom. She had watched videos. She had read. And that's another thing. All along this time, I'm also experiencing my mom having very bad arthritis and very bad pain, numbness, and all of that because her bones were brittle and she has osteoporosis. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, if I'm going to be on HRT, I want to be on the most effective form of HRT that there is. I don't want just no hot flashes. If it's going to help me with osteoporosis and osteopenia and dementia and Alzheimer's,
Can HRT help with dementia? Other research from the US found that women who took transdermal body identical estrogen and progesterone were 73% less likely to get dementia and other brain degenerating diseases. The charity called this an amazing and heartening figure because 2 out of 3 Alzheimer's patients are female.
Been proven to help with that, then I want the most benefit I can get because depression, Alzheimer's, and dementia do run in my family, in some of my older family when they got older. So when I told him that, he says, well, there's other things we can prescribe you for that. And I'm like, well, why would I do that if I can just go ahead and take this one thing that helps with everything? And he was getting a little frustrated with me, but this is the same doctor that has been very understanding about the carnivore diet. He has, had my blood work tested 3 times a year, and he has been very understanding. And to the point of me asking, did I share with you guys? So I know he's not closed-minded. I know he's open-minded, but he's a man. He's a man, and he's younger than I am. So I don't think he's really experienced maybe his wife going through this, or maybe he's not up on it. So I was very happy that he referred me to the gynecologist in the group. Mine that I used to go to left town, so I didn't really have anyone else. So I could not believe when I got there that he had prescribed me a lesser dose and to take a week off, because that wasn't like anyone else I had talked to was prescribed to do. So I went on the portal like they want you to do, and I asked those questions. Well, the nurse answered me back, basically, get over it. That is what he thought you should be on. So I was like, okay, well, please set me up for an appointment with the gynecologist. So I went ahead and took 1 box of those. It's a really small little patch, clear. You take it out, you put it on twice a week, and the top of the box will show you, like this one, this is my new one, but the top of the box will show you, like if you put it on Sunday, then put another one on Wednesday. Right now I'm on the Friday, Monday. And I take showers basically every day. I'm in the sun, all of that good stuff, and they stay on. So that has not...
I was just going to say, do they stay on? I had morphine patches for a while. Absolutely waste of fucking space they were. I put them on, wake up in the morning, they were in the bed somewhere, and it's like, well, what's the point of them? And they weren't doing anything anyway, so I must be immune.
Been a problem whatsoever, and everything was fine. The only side effect I felt like I noticed was a little bit of indigestion. And now that I've been on the carnivore diet for years now, that is a plus with the carnivore diet. And I'll go ahead and be blunt. No pooting, no gas, not a bunch of burping. It's
no pooting. What's that when it's at home?
Now, that is a plus with the carnivore diet. And I'll go ahead and be blunt. No pooting, no...
What's pooting? What the fuck is she talking about?
Gas, not a bunch of burping. It's just when you eat, it is just like smooth sailing. It's not an indigestion type diet. And I noticed when I started the patch, I had a little bit of indigestion, and it really stood out to me because I haven't even felt that for so long. I don't know if that's a side effect, but that's just the one thing that I noticed. Let's see, time goes on, everything. I read a little bit more, and I did read, I actually was listening to podcasts of all these doctors, a lot of women doctors, and they were saying that that is pretty common.
Please learn how to say doctor. Pretty please.
For them to dose down on the patch than the pill, because the reason the patch is better is because it goes right into your bloodstream. It doesn't have to be digested and go through the liver. Well, that made me think, okay, I see why he did that. But if he did that, then he obviously realizes the difference between the patch and the pill. And why didn't he tell me that? Why didn't he acknowledge that the patch gets into the bloodstream better, faster, more effectively? I'm not sure. Maybe he didn't realize that until he wrote the prescription. I'm not sure, because I really like him, and I'm not trying to throw shade on him. I just want you to be prepared. That's what I feel like I have to offer you from my experience, because I think this is probably a pretty common thing. So when I went to the doctor, I tried to be prepared. I am not a good debater, arguer. Honestly, if I ever really get worked up, I will just cry. I just start crying and I can't get my point across. I'm just not good at arguing or even trying to be firm. I can just be somewhat firm, but I'm not good at really, really, really being firm. So I was nervous.
I don't believe you. Sorry.
And I was so delighted. She knew exactly what I was talking about. She was very familiar with all of the studies that I had talked about. She was just right on the same page completely. So without hardly any, fuss or anything, it was actually one of the most delightful appointments I have ever had. Matter of fact, before I left, I made an appointment to get a pap smear kind of checkup thing with her and switch over to her. And she prescribed the estradiol patch in 0.05, change twice a week for the full month. And that is what I'm on now. And I have been on it for a few weeks now. And I haven't really noticed a difference in the lesser patch, but the things that it's supposed to help, I don't know if I would. But it certainly hasn't made me feel sick or anything else. So I'm very happy that I did that. I'm proud of myself. I'm glad that I quit putting that off, and I do feel good about it. So I did just want to share that with you because I do get a lot of questions about it, and I have those videos out there that are telling you that I am on the estradiol pill, and I wanted to just update you, just give you another point of view. And I also wanted to mention, I know a lot of people, and even Dr. Atia mentioned Dottie as like the name brand of the patch, and that's what I asked for when I went to my main doctor the first time. And when I didn't get it, I was upset. I didn't know why he didn't give me the one I asked for. So then when I asked her about that, she said, honestly, it doesn't matter. She said, I usually just write the estrogen patch, the milligram, and your insurance will kind of decide which one you get. So that's something I wanted to let you know.
I didn't get the one they said in the video, and I'm going to stand in the foyer and I'm going to stamp my feet until I do. I wanted the cute one. I wanted the pretty one called Dottie.
Too, if you're like me and it's not that I'm anti-generic. I take a generic Zyrtec every night. I take generic Tylenol if I need to. But I have noticed in the past that sometimes generic prescription drugs can be a little different. But she assured me that it was the same thing and that was very common. So I am on I think I'm probably on a generic. It's SANDOZ from the Novartis division. Now let's address carnivore and HRT, how I feel about that, because I have been really studying that, and I want to be totally honest with you guys. I am not here to get all of you on the carnivore diet. As I've told you before, I would not be on it if I had another answer, but I do think keto is the way to go. I think if you can tolerate vegetables, then keto is the way to go, because the more I have learned about seed oils and sugar and processed foods and all of the things that we have in our diets that I love, would be eating probably today if I could, they are bad for you. I am on this diet because
I hate that. This is bad for you. That's bad for you. That's why people end up with eating disorders.
It has changed my life. It has taken me from a depressed, swollen, overweight, clumsy person that couldn't sleep, and really just, I really felt like I had lost myself. It has turned me into just a person who feels like the luckiest girl in the world. I feel the best I've ever felt. And I say most of that is due to carnivore. But there are some that say I lost 32 pounds and have kept it off for over 3 years because I went on HRT. That is just not true. It's just not true. But what I do think may be true is that when you go on HRT, it helps other things like the way you eat, exercise, which you guys know I walk 30 minutes a day. It's not.
You never used to do anything. Stop. I walk 30 minutes a day. Do you know in the UK, people walk all day, every day?
To lose weight. It is for my health. It's for my mental health. It's for my productivity. It's because I want to live a long time. It's for many different reasons, and we'll go into that in another video, but it's definitely not to lose weight, because I don't think I've lost any weight since I've been walking. Maybe a pound. I really do think that maybe the HRT might help you with a healthy diet. So anyway, this is what I think, my bottom line. I was on the carnivore diet for, let's see, June, July, 2 months before I got on HRT. I have documentation, I have videos of how fabulous I felt before I even started HRT. I think I had lost, maybe 10, 12, 15 pounds at that point, but I felt amazing. Honestly, after about a week or 10 days being on the carnivore diet, I lost, I think, 8 to 10 pounds, right around there. I'd have to get out all my notebooks because I do have it recorded and I do need to get those out. But I had lost weight and I felt so mentally better. I remember feeling like I was going to be okay, instead of, is this going to keep getting worse? Is the person I knew, are they gone? I mean, I was having to think, what am I going to wear? Who am I going to be? Like, what
am I going to wear? Oh my God, I'm going to be fat. Oh no, what am I going to do? I can't cope if I'm fat.
What am I going to do? Everything that I loved doing it seemed like it was getting tainted by this feeling. I couldn't travel. I couldn't wear the clothes I wanted to wear. I felt like I didn't feel good doing videos. And keep in mind, I do an outfit of the day every video. And that's a lot of pressure. You might not think that it is, but it is. You don't want to feel your worst and
Nobody else does an outfit of the day like me.
Bloated and feel like you look pregnant when you have to do outfits of the day every video. And I just didn't feel good. I was falling down. It was just weird things. Skin acting crazy, joints acting crazy. I mean, it was just a lot of different things. I felt so much better, so much quicker than 2 months. So this is my...
Right. What about people that can't be cured by a carnivore diet? Oh, it worked for me. Oh, I felt dreadful. I had pains in my elbows. Wah, wah, wah. I put on a bit of weight. Wah, wah, wah. If you were really sick, you would know what fucking hit you.
My bottom line, it's not that I don't think HRT helps. I do think that the progesterone, they ask you to take it at night because it does help you sleep. I actually think that both could benefit you. I think that I benefit from both. I think that I sleep better. I think that I think better. I think that I feel better. And you know what? I don't think the HRT would have helped my IBS. I don't think the HRT would have helped me keep over 30 pounds off for 3 years. I don't think that the HRT is a miracle. I just think that it is something that helps you in lots of different ways. I do agree. And I'm really hoping that it's going to help me mentally and with dementia and all of these things. And, you know, I hope that it's going to help me in all of those ways, my osteopenia. But I really am a believer in the carnivore diet. Like I said, I'm not here to just push it on you because I don't think it's for everyone. But I think if you are having the problems that I had, it is a life changer. I'm telling you, it's a life changer. There is no way that I would have gone over 3 years without one single French fry, one single bite of a dessert. I have not cheated one time, not one time. The worst I ever do, which I do usually pay for it a little bit, is the top of a pizza or aioli. Like mayonnaise aioli. If I'm out of town, sometimes I'll treat myself to dip in my steak and aioli. And sometimes my stomach may get upset that night, but it's not a true blue blown IBS attack, which if any of you have that, you'll know what I mean. True IBS attacks last for days, if not weeks. If you've eaten the same bad thing, you know, several times before you knew it, it'll take a long time to really get out of your system. And, you know, this is graphic and it's not pretty, but I remember when I went to go see the gastroenterologist and he was looking at my colonoscopy, he said that I was very, very inflamed, just really bad off when it comes to that down area. And
the down area. How old are you, Lisa? For fuck's sake. And it's like, whoop-de-doo, carnivore helped you. I looked the other day, I said to Jed, I said, all right, okay, let's try carnivore. Oh, look, a ribeye steak's a tenner. So that's £70 a week for one meal. Really? Do you think people can afford that? No. For one person in a house of 4.
And I have none of those problems anymore. So there is my HRT update in a nutshell. I also want to mention that I no longer take any Align. I no longer take any Benefiber. I never felt good. I mean, the only reason I took it is because they asked me to take that before I started Carnivore, and I was just so freaked out that if I stopped taking it, something bad was going to happen. But I ended up getting off of that because I don't think I need fiber. When you eat all meat and just a little bit of cheese, everything goes straight through me like it should. I'm not constipated, but that's never been my issue. So that's something that is very individual. So the only thing I take now is a vitamin D calcium supplement and my hormones and a Zyrtec, because I get bad sinus infections from goldenrod and all of the things that grow here, and that is it. So I hope that I could help you in like some little way. Like I always say, I'm not here as a professional. I'm here as your friend, and I'm here as someone who is walking the walk. I'm talking the talk. I've done everything, you know, and I want to share that experience with you. And I think that's really valuable. I think we need to hear from other women that have actually done these things, and experts and our doctors and our gynecologists. I think you need to not only take my advice, you need to compile that with other people and then make the best decision for yourself. That's how I feel about it. So thank you so much for watching. I've got on a new t-shirt, and let me grab my mic and we'll do an outfit. Okay, I've got on a new t-shirt from a friend of mine, Denise. She has a new boutique and she sent me some of her designs, and I'll admit I cut this up because I wanted to love wearing it. So this is from her website. I'll put everything down below. Actually, I'll put her Instagram down below. And then I've got on those pants that I showed you from Target. This is exactly how I had envisioned wearing these. They actually have a matching top that I may be tempted to get, but I wanted to wear these kind of casual, and I have on my Hermes Oran flats, and let's see, I've got on my Bulova watch, and I've got on the I love this necklace. I'm glad I got it. I got this from the Nordstrom sale. I hope it's still available. I'm not sure. I got this little chain from the Nordstrom sale, and then the other one is my Ideal Diamond that I showed you in Friday's video. I forgot to put earrings in. I
forgot to put earrings in. Oh my God, it's the end of the world.
Obsessed with these. I love them. These are the Gucci sunglasses. I'm not sure they're still available. I got them on sale at the Nordstrom sale, and I love them. You have to get the sunglasses at the sales. The Fendi's are amazing, but they're sold out. And then I've got on, I'll list my makeup down below. Oh, my ring is Sheila Fajl. Okay, you guys, thank you for being here. I love you guys. You guys are my friends. I love this is my girl time, and I appreciate it so much. So any questions, you can leave them down below. I'll do my best to answer them, and I hope that I was clear. I know I'm a scatterbrain. That's just part of my personality, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
I just can't with this woman. So happy I've got to the end of that, and if you got to the end with me, thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one.